These are the plaintiffs, Carolyn and Stephen Rooms. Carolyn says the defendants, her neighbors for 12 years, had a vicious dog that pulled her poor little dog through their common fence and attacked. Her poor dog, Sadie, had to have orthopedic surgery on her foot and soft palate so it could breathe again. The defendants refused to pay the vet bills, so here they are. They're suing for $3,554.50, the amount they're owed. These are the defendants, Ronald and Judy Lewis. They say the incident didn't take place as the plaintiffs describe. If anything, the plaintiff's dog got her paw under the fence herself and hurt it somehow. Their dog wouldn't harm a fly, is being unfairly blamed, and they won't pay for something that they had no involvement in. That's for darn sure. They're accused of failing to control their pooch.
All parties, please raise your right hand. Be seated and come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome.
Okay, Caroline and Stephen Rooms?
Yes.
Is it Rooms? You are suing Ronald and Judy Lewis for $3,554.50 in vet bills that your pet Sadie sustained, which you say was as a result of an attack by their dog, Shock.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay, what happened?
Well, on Thursday evening, May 27th, I let my dog out, and I always had to go out in the yard with her because their dog was very aggressive. And I would say in April, the dog had started to dig under the fence.
Now, how long had the two dogs lived next door to each other?
I guess their dog is 4 or 5 years old. So
And your dog is?
my dog was 10.
How old was your dog?
6.
6, okay.
So this had been an ongoing problem
And
with
had
the
you
dog.
lived, how long have you lived at the property?
We've lived there for 12 years.
12 years, and you've
We've
lived
been there 11 years.
Okay.
So this had been an
Had
ongoing...
you otherwise gotten along?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. But I'd say over the course of 4 years, I must have called them at least 40 times when the dog was attacking the fence.
Okay.
And, of course, I feared for my dogs. My dog is 20 pounds. Their dog is 140 pounds, maybe. In April...
What kind of dog was your dog?
I had a pug, a black
And what
pug.
kind of dog is Shock?
A Rottweiler.
Rottweiler. Okay.
Yeah. The dog, every time I slid my door open, their dog, if it was in the yard, would attack at the fence.
Okay.
Every single time I would
Okay.
open my door.
What kind of a fence separates your property?
Okay, we put a 6-foot stockade. They had previously a 4-foot cyclone fence.
Okay.
And
A cyclone is a chain link fence?
Yes.
Okay. So how's a dog, what's it doing to be able
well,
to...
now he started digging under. So
Okay.
in April, my husband had been relocated with his job, and of course, when the dog, his body was actually under my fence when I was looking out my door one day, and I called Judy right away, one of the numerous calls, and I said, Judy, Shock is under the fence. So she came and got him in. I called my husband. I said, we've got to do something. He dug into the ground.
What'd you do?
After I dug in, I laid concrete on our end of the property where the hole was being dug into.
Okay.
And then I called the Lewises and asked them, because they refused to do anything on their side of the fence, to say, I have a big 4x4 block of wood. Would it be okay if I go into your yard and put that wood on the other side in order to prevent it from going on that side of the property? They said yes. We went over, I put the wood there, but then subsequently the block was moved at a later date.
The wood was?
Yes.
Do you have pictures?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, now, this fence, I mean, I don't see a hole. I see like a foot of air.
That's where he got his mouth. I'm sorry.
No, but I'm saying it like it doesn't look like it's a hole and then the ground everywhere around it is high. It looks like the fence was built sort of high off, like this fence was not built close to the ground. Am I wrong?
The whole, it was, I guess it was a normal way the fence was laid out. I'm not an expert on putting
Right, but
up
was
chain link.
there a gap between the stockade fence and the ground when it was installed?
If it was very minimum, not enough for the dog to stick his head underneath there, the dog started digging and digging, because then that was the area where he digged the giant hole in.
All right, so go ahead.
Well, on the evening that this occurred, We usually, when I let my dogs out, I put my outside lights on, my yard lights. They would do the same thing. Well, I went to let my dog out, and their yard lights were off, so I'm assuming everything's going to be safe. I let my dog out.
So what did you mean by that? That if their lights were on, you wouldn't let your dogs out?
At night, yes.
Because we know that as soon as the dog
And
goes out.
was this an agreement that you guys had reached? That we
Yes.
Yeah.
look out for each other's lights?
Yeah,
All right.
oh, yeah. Yeah, well, that's the way we had to live. If I wanted to protect my dogs, I wanted to, of course, and that's what I would do.
Okay.
Sadie she was starting to lose her sight, and actually she was farsighted, so she couldn't see up close. And she would hug the fence when she walked, because I guess it was just a comfort thing. When she walked past that particular area, I was standing 4 feet away from her. I heard like a growl, and then like a lunge, and she went down right away, and her face hit the stockade fence, and I started to scream, of course, and I grabbed her up, and I rushed her in the house, and I called Judy immediately, and I was so upset. I said, Judy, Shock just got Sadie. I said, your outside lights aren't on. And she said, I know, my granddaughters are visiting tonight. I must have forgot to put them on when I let the dogs out. And she hung up on me, and I guess she got him in. So when I brought her to the emergency vet, they told me she had 2 broken bones in her foot, and that I needed to get her to an orthopedic surgeon. When I stopped at home on the way to the orthopedic surgeon, so she came out to talk to me, and I'll be honest with you, I was very upset with her. I said, this is what I've been trying to prevent all these years. Their dog's young and big. I have these old pugs, you know what I mean? And I was trying to protect them. They didn't help me, protect them. So I told her I couldn't talk to her. And I rushed her then to the orthopedic surgeon, and I said we would go along with the procedures, and she didn't make it. She did not make it. She was in critical care for 2 days after the surgery, and
Let me see your copy of the vet bills.
This is from the emergency
Mr. and Mrs.
vet.
Lewis, who wants to address
And
me?
that's from the-
Mr. Lewis, talk to me. What's going on?
Shock did try to get into their yard. However, Shock is a male, feeling his oats, and Sadie is a little female. So, I mean, the reasons he was trying to get there weren't to hurt Sadie.
I don't care if he wanted to cook her
I
dinner, okay? The fact is that it's not the dog's behavior is predictable, whether
right.
it's to mate or eat her, okay? It's predictable. It's an animal.
Right.
The question in a case like this is always the human's behavior. So if Shock had a habit of trying to get over there, what did you guys do to stop that from happening and keep the integrity of the barrier?
On several occasions, I put boarding up against the fence
Okay.
so that he couldn't possibly get through it. And in fact, he didn't. Ma'am, he's 138 pounds. Now, I have a 33-inch waist. He has a 31-inch neck.
Okay.
So now, if you can, visualize him sticking his head under a fence, it's not practical. He didn't do
Well,
it.
I'm not sure she means his entire head went under the fence. I think what she means is that he's trying to get in there.
His whole muzzle.
But
Okay, well,
but if the puppy's walking by the fence, and we know that your dog has a tendency to want to get to the other side of the fence, what did we do besides putting some wood there? Sounds to me like maybe putting some wood there wasn't enough.
it wasn't enough, ma'am, but he didn't.
So how did this happen? The dog
What
ended
happened
up
was
dead.
she had been digging on her side of the fence.
Sadie?
Sadie, and stuck her foot through it. And that's the only way it could have happened.
How do you know? Did you see that?
No, we didn't.
No.
It was in the scheme of things, it doesn't really matter. I lost a friend. All right. She lost her dog. It was my fault. My granddaughters came over to take me to see a movie. On Monday, I had to have my Shih Tzu put down. My granddaughters came to take me to see a movie, to see Twilight. I let the damn dog out because he was acting like an idiot, like he always does. And I didn't turn the light on. I did not think to turn the light on. And I don't know what else to say.
You feel pretty bad.
I'm heartbroken.
Yeah. Me too.
I had my
Sadie was
friend
a-
Carolyn. You
Sadie
know,
was a great dog.
I'd go there and she'd do my hair. I'd play with Sadie. And it's my fault.
Well, I mean, yeah, the light on thing you need to feel
It
bad
was
about,
our
but
thing.
I think that everyone thinks that the light on would solve the problem, and maybe it would have because she wouldn't have gone out. But I think that this is the kind of case where measures beyond the light needed to have been taken.
And welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. So, is it a defense to say, well, male dogs just try to get to female dogs? That's the way it is.
No, it's not.
Why?
I think every dog should be responsible to be held within their own confines of their house or their backyard.
So, what about the notion, though, that male dogs just do this by nature?
Well, I don't think that makes sense because he wasn't going over there for the female. He attacked the dog. Like that doesn't really add up.
Very, very perceptive. Very good. Going inside the courtroom.
What I'd like to know is when this other place where this happened, because this didn't happen where the concrete was poured, obviously.
It did.
So when the concrete dried, did it have a solid barrier against
There was no really concrete on their side of the property. It was just more of the wood, just to keep.
How does it? But if there's concrete on this side, I'm just trying to figure out how Shock got over to grab Sadie.
Well, the wood was removed. That's the point I was trying
The wood
to.
was removed, but the concrete's on your side. So why wasn't the
Well-
concrete enough? Because it didn't make it all the way up.
Yeah.
Okay, so when the concrete dries, there's now how
And there
big a
was a
gap?
gap.
The gap
Yeah.
I'm looking at.
The gap is
Which is about 4 inches.
Four
Yeah.
or 5 inches, exactly. So that's when he went over, and because I said there's the chain link fence and the stockade.
You
He
never
put-
thought that he'd grab Sadie and hurt Sadie without being able to come over. You were just trying to stop him from coming over.
Exactly.
So you
That's
figured
why
4
we
inches
poured-
was okay,
Exactly.
but it wasn't.
Yeah.
That's initially, we poured the concrete to prevent him from coming under. Then I said, no, this isn't good enough, Steve. So he put 2 bricks of wood between the stockade and the cyclone fence. He went onto their property and put it up in between
With
the
their consent.
cyclone
Where
and the
was
stockade.
that wood on this day?
What I would think happened was the dog was digging and actually moved the wood, dug it out, and then they
The
piled
wood's
it
not
up
a
on the
good
side.
solution. The wood's not going to stop look, the wood wasn't going to stop a 130-pound dog with a 31-inch neck, and the cement that doesn't make it all the way to the bottom of the wood was also not going to stop 130 because that's not going to stop this,
That's correct. We was hoping that they was going to do something on their end to help mitigate this
I
problem.
just wish both sides had done something on both ends. But it's their dog that's doing the aggressing.
Yes.
But I just wish both sides had done something on both ends. Oh, Lord. Were these bills paid?
Yes.
Did she end up paying any of it?
No, she did say that at the time was May 29th. She said on June 17th she'll get a check and she'll give her something.
Start paying it down a little
Did
every
she?
month.
No, June 17th
No.
went and came by. And
I
she-
never even talked to her
Ever
again
since
after
then.
that
Why
conversation.
didn't you, if you said that you were going to start paying in June, why didn't you pay something?
I just didn't have any money.
I realize that you feel bad, and I realize that you don't have money, but neither of those are even in the remotest, slightest bit relevant. The problem are not the dogs. The problem are the owners who have the pit bulls and the Rottweilers and then don't contain them. That's the problem. And if you know and you have a lot of warning that you have a dog who is trying to get to the other side, for whatever reason the dog is trying to get to the other side, you really have an obligation to have put up a fence that will keep your dog in. And this is really, really sad because putting up the appropriate barrier to save $500 in putting up the appropriate barrier, you've cost a lot of human heartache and a lot of money to yourselves because I am about to order that you pay this judgment.
Ma'am?
$3,554.50. Verdict for the plaintiff.
Thank you.
Hold on right there, please.
You gotta wait for them to.
Well, Judge Millan has found the defendants responsible, and therefore the decision goes for the plaintiff. Step on in here and give me your reaction to the outcome here. They got every penny they sued for.
I think it's completely unfair.
How about you?
I think it's fair. I'm glad it's over. I just wish I had my friend back.
You two are
Totally.
on different sides of the fence, so as it were.
Won't be the first time.
Right? I mean, how come you can't see it her way?
Well, first of all, consider the possibility of a dog with a 31-inch neck digging a hole and then getting through.
Sit down.
Well, the snout could get through.
Okay, and biting another dog. Now,
All right. She needs to sit and go. All right, go ahead.
A
Go ahead.
Rottweiler has a bite equal to a shark, 6,000 pounds per square inch. So imagine what would happen if that dog had really bit this dog.
Maybe just got its snout through and just
Didn't
grabbed
happen. It never happened.
All right. See ya. All right, so come on in here. Step right next to her and stand next to her. How are you feeling about the outcome here now?
Well, I wish it never happened, and I'm glad that it's over. And I do miss Judy. I wish that the whole situation could have been avoided.
When you look at Judy and her husband and how different they are, what do you think?
Yeah, you know what? I'm not really that surprised. You know, Ron, he kind of, he thinks the way he wants to think, and that's fine by him. But, Judy knows the truth.
All right, so you got all this money. Does it make up for the loss of
No.
Sadie?
Absolutely not.
No way. No.
Harvey?
Okay, Kurt, there is a mutual duty for people who live on one side of a fence and another to repair the damage to a fence, to maintain it as well. Even if you don't get along with your neighbor, it is such a good idea to break the ice and say, look, we've got to maintain this. We've got to make sure that everything's secure. And you sit down, break the ice, you will get along better. And that will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.